What if I told you that the most powerful creature to ever walk this planet didn't die in battle, didn't lose because it was weak, but because it never saw the real enemy coming? Picture this. The ground is shaking. The sky is glowing red. The air smells like sulfur and burning forests. And two giants absolute monster locked in a fight that would make any action movie look soft. On one side, a three-horned tank built like a living fortress. On the other, a predator so dominant that even the word apex feels too small. And while they're fighting for survival, something 10 kilometers wide is already screaming through the sky. Yeah. Today, we're going all the way back, 66 million years ago. The last chapter of the dinosaurs, the Cretaceous period, the rise, the domination, and the fall. Welcome back, guys. If you've been riding with this series, you already know we're not just talking facts. We're stepping into that world. We're breathing that air. We're watching evolution play chess in real time. And today, this is the endgame. So sit back, lock in, don't blink, because once this starts, it doesn't slow down. About 145 million years before that final impact, the world already looked different. The supercontinent Pangaea. It was breaking apart, massive tectonic plates grinding against each other like gears in a machine too big to understand. Volcanoes erupting non-stop, lava pouring out for thousands of years. Carbon dioxide levels rising, temperatures climbing. Now I know what you're thinking. 3 degrees, that doesn't sound like much. But 3 degrees in global average temperature, that's chaos. Polar ice melts. Sea levels rise. Weather patterns go crazy. Ecosystems collapse. Back then, oxygen levels dropped in certain regions. The air was thicker in some places, thinner in others. Forests expanded, then burned. Swamps formed. Inland seas flooded continents. And in that chaos, evolution didn't panic. It adapted. The dinosaurs that survived the Jurassic extinction weren't just lucky. They were built different. Herbivores like early Ceratopsians started developing better thermoregulation. Blood vessel networks in their frills and skulls helped them release excess heat. Their bodies became more efficient. Chewing mechanisms improved. They could process tougher plants. Meanwhile, predators weren't sitting around. Theropods refined their respiratory systems. Many of them had air sacs similar to modern birds alone. Unidirectional airflow through their lungs. That means oxygen moved in one direction. No wasted breath. No inefficiency. In a world with fluctuating oxygen levels, that's a cheat code. And while the giants were evolving above ground, something smaller was playing a long game. Early mammals. Tiny, shoe-sized. Mostly nocturnal. They laid eggs at first, like monotremes today. But some lineages began shifting toward live birth. Why? Efficiency. Protection. Oxygen control. In unstable climates, laying fragile eggs in the open was risky. Developing young internally gave them better survival odds. Some evolve pouches primitive marsupial strategies. Give birth early. Let the young finish developing while attached to the mother. It reduced risk and conserved energy. It wasn't flashy, but it was smart. While dinosaurs ruled the spotlight, mammals were building resilience in the shadows. Now, let's move forward. As continents drifted apart, oceans expanded, sea levels rose. Shallow inland seas split North America in half. Coastlines stretched for thousands of miles. And where there's water, there's opportunity. Marine reptiles exploded in diversity. You had sleek, fish-shaped hunters like long-necked ambush predators, like Plesiosaurs. And then, the heavy hitters. Mosasaurus, a marine predator that turned the ocean into its personal buffet. Massive jaws, double-hinged skull, conical teeth, built to grip and crush, a tail fin powerful enough to launch it through water like a torpedo. Imagine being a fish back then. There was nowhere safe. The oceans weren't peaceful. They were battlegrounds. Competition got brutal. When prey decreased, predators turned on each other. Smaller marine reptiles became meals. Niches shifted. Only the most adaptable survived. On land, things weren't calmer. Flowering plants, angiosperms, started spreading rapidly during the Cretaceous. That changed everything. New plant types meant new food sources. That meant herbivores diversified. Hadrosaurs, ankylosaurs, ceratopsians. And speaking of ceratopsians, let's talk about the tank. Triceratops. 3 horns, a massive bony frill, a body weighing up to 12 tons. This wasn't just a plant eater. This was a walking shield. Its horns weren't decorations. They were weapons. Its neck frill wasn't just for show. It protected arteries and muscle. And across the plains, watching from a distance, was the king. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Let's clear something up. T-Rex wasn't just big. It was engineered. A bite force estimated between 8,000 to 12,000 pounds. Teeth the size of bananas. Serrated edges designed not just to cut but to crush bone. Forward-facing eyes. Depth perception. A brain larger relative to body size than most dinosaurs. Keen sense of smell, possibly better than modern vultures. This thing could detect you, track you, and end you. Now, here's where it gets real. Was it always a 1-on-1 fight? Probably not. Some evidence suggests Tyrannosaurs may have exhibited social behavior. Not full lion pride teamwork necessarily, but possibly coordinated hunting, or at least tolerance in groups. Imagine a herd of Triceratops moving across a floodplain. A young one strays too far. Juvenile Tyrannosaurs tested first. Fast. Agile. Not fully grown, but deadly. The herd circles up. Adults lower their heads, horns forward. Tension. Then from the tree line, the adult Rex steps out. This isn't random. This is calculated. The juveniles push. The adults wait. The Triceratops charges, trying to break the formation. Dust everywhere. Roars, shaking the air. One misstep. One slip in mud. That's all it takes. And in that moment, evolution doesn't care who's noble, who's strong, who's brave. It only cares who survives. For millions of years, this balance held predator and prey. Ocean and land. Air and forest. Pterosaurs ruled the skies, some with wingspans over 30 feet. Quetzalcoatlus, standing as tall as a giraffe, went on the ground. Imagine looking up and seeing that shadow pass over you. This wasn't a calm planet. This was maximum intensity Earth. And yet, even at their peak, dinosaurs were vulnerable in ways they didn't understand, because dominance in your ecosystem doesn't protect you from cosmic roulette. Let's jump to 66 million years ago. Late Cretaceous, the world is warm, sea levels high, biodiversity rich. Tyrannosaurus roaming west in North America. Triceratops grazing in herds. Mosasaurus patrolling oceans. Life is thriving. And 6,000 miles above them, an asteroid roughly 10 kilometers wide is on a collision course. It's moving at around 20 kilometers per second. There is no warning, no bright dot, growing slowly over weeks. Just a sudden streak across the sky. In what is now the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, it hits. The impact releases energy equivalent to billions of nuclear bombs. Shockwaves ripple across continents. Earthquakes magnitude 10 or higher. Tsunamis, hundreds of feet tall, slam coastlines. Rock vapor, molten debris launches into the atmosphere, then rains back down globally as fiery projectiles. The sky glows. Forests ignite worldwide. 4 hours, maybe days. The surface of Earth becomes an oven. Anything exposed? Gone. But that wasn't even the worst part. Dust and sulfur aerosols fill the atmosphere. Sunlight blocked, temperaturas plummet. Photosynthesis stops. Plants die and herbivores starve. Predators follow. It's called an impact winter, and it lasts 4 years. Now, think about this. Tyrannosaurus rex, the unstoppable apex. Predator can't hunt. If there's nothing left to hunt, Triceratops armored. Powerful can't eat, if plants don't grow. Mosasaurus of the sea suffers, as marine food chains collapse. Size becomes a disadvantage. Large animals need massive amounts of food. Small animals take on. Eat a burrow. Eat seeds. Survive on scraps. Remember those tiny nocturnal mammals? The ones who adapted quietly. They make it. Some birds descendants of theropod dinosaurs make it. Crocodilians survive. Turtles survive. Insects survive. But the non-avian dinosaurs? Gone. Not because they were weak. Not because they lost the evolutionary arms race. But because the rules of the game changed overnight, and they couldn't pivot fast enough. That's the brutal truth of evolution. It doesn't reward the strongest. It rewards the most adaptable. And here's the part that hits different. Every bird you see today, a pigeon, an eagle, a sparrow, they are living dinosaurs. The lineage didn't completely vanish. It transformed. Right now, somewhere outside, a small bird is perched on a tree branch. And 66 million years ago, its ancestors were running beneath the feet of giants. So when we talk about the fall of dinosaurs, it's not just extinction, it's transition. It's the closing of one chapter and the quiet opening of another. Because after that asteroid hit, the world was reset. Mammals diversified, grew larger, filled empty niches. Over millions of years, primates evolved. Eventually, humans, creatures who now study fossils and reconstruct battles between T-Rex and Triceratops. Creatures who send probes into space to look at the very kind of asteroid that once changed everything. Think about that. The descendants of tiny nocturnal survivors now tracking space rocks. So history doesn't repeat itself. That's evolution's plot twist. And if there's one thing this entire story teaches us, it's this. Dominance is temporary. Adaptation is everything. The Cretaceous period wasn't just about giant reptiles fighting in prehistoric jungles. It was about systems under pressure, climate change, rising seas, competition, innovation. Sound familiar? The planet has changed before. Life has adapted before. But mass extinction, date, c'est real. And the dinosaurs remind us that even the most powerful can fall if the environment shifts faster than they can respond. So next time you see a bird take flight, or you watch a documentary about Tyrannosaurus rex, remember, they once ruled this world. They reached their ultimate potential, and then, in a single geological moment, they were gone. Not because they weren't strong, but because strength alone isn't enough. If you made it this far, you're officially part of the 1% who dan tap out when things get deep. Drop a comment telling me Team T-Rex or Team Triceratops. And if you want more epic journeys through Earth's history, prehistoric oceans, Ice Age predators, the rise of Mammal Zoo, already know what to do. Stay curious, keep learning, and never underestimate the quiet survivor in the shadows. Because sometimes, that's the one who inherits the Earth.